Hello there, friends, and welcome back to the series where I'm completing an Animal Crossing island in 30 days. Now, just in case you're new around here, these are the rules that we've laid out for this island challenge. And with that, it is time to jump right into day 17 on Edelwood. All right, friends, so back at it again for day 17. I've gone ahead and made a little dent in this progress over here. I've cleared off the cliff tops, but just in case it's not obvious, today we're going to be doing a lot of terraforming. Because today my plan is to put together the lake. Now, is this only happening today because my treasure island that I subscribe to is still down and I can't access it? Yes, 100%. But my plan for today is just to kind of like have a little bit more of a chill episode. I've got a ton of terraforming here to do today, so you guys are just gonna keep me company while I do some terraforming. Sound good? Awesome. Honestly, you guys might think I'm a little bit insane for this take, but terraforming is one of my favorite things to do whenever I'm playing this game. Like, there is nothing more relaxing to me than just throwing on a YouTube video or putting some music on or whatever and just zoning out and terraforming in this game for like literal hours. But yeah, literally, if this game was just terraforming, I think I would have equally as much fun as I have with this game just as a whole. Really, what is this game if not a glorified terraforming simulator? Oh, actually, getting started on this next build reminds me, thank you guys so much for your positive reception to the country fair build. And like, honestly, all of the builds that we've done so far, like the farmer's market and even the neighborhood, like everyone seems to really enjoy those builds that we've been working on the channel. So thank you guys. I'm happy that you guys are enjoying that. It makes me really happy to get to share all this progress with you guys. This is definitely something like the whole 30-day challenge. It's quite the format to get used to from the editing and production standpoint, but I've been having a lot of fun with it. And way more than that, thanks for listening to my mindless rambling that sometimes I feel like can be really confusing to listen to. Or maybe that's just because I spend so much time listening to myself when I edit these videos. So like, I'm kind of like, yeah, I've heard all this before. Whatever, it's just me talking about freaking Markiplier and Until Dawn and work and life and whatever. But just thanks for giving me a place to ramble about these things. It's not like you have much of a choice, but thanks anyways. On the topic of thanking you guys for things, also, like, when I'm doing this voiceover, we have already freaking flown past 700 subscribers. Everyone needs to stop texting me. Don't they know I'm recording a voiceover right now? Anyways, literally blown past 700 subscribers. And I feel like just yesterday, I was thanking you guys for hitting 500 subscribers. Like, what? This is insane. So yeah, a lot of sappy things. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following me. Thank you for supporting me. Honestly, like, I've wanted to do YouTube for a long time. Like, whenever I say long time, I mean, I was filming Littlest Pet Shop videos on my parents' clunky old, like, video camera back in 2007, right? Like, I've always loved the thought of, like, just creating my own things and hoping that people would enjoy them. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying the series. And it's got me thinking a lot about what I want to do once the series ends. I talked a little bit about this, I think, on the channel already, but I'm really interested in, like, in November, I would love to play a playthrough of Until Dawn, and like, I know it's a little bit weird to have the duality of a cozy Animal Crossing player that also likes to play horror games, but a couple people in the comments said they would be interested in watching that. I don't know how feasible that is for me right now, because my current recording setup looks something similar to a box of wires. By that I mean I use my boyfriend's old gaming computer from like 2015. I don't know how this thing is still alive, but honestly I pre-ordered Until Dawn and I didn't really think about how I was going to play it. So I'm hoping I can play it on this computer. It is very likely that trying to run that game will cause this thing to go up in a ball of fire. So we'll see. I might not be able to record my first playthrough of it I don't know, we'll have to see. I'm not far enough along in my YouTube journey to be able to justify buying a huge fancy PC yet, so, you know, growing pains. We're gonna have to live and learn for a little bit. Aside from that, I'd also really like to play Cult of the Lamb, and Amber Isle. It just looks so cute. I also, over the summer, I had kind of been working on a couple Stardew Valley videos, one of which was playing Stardew Valley Expanded totally blind. I actually have finished the entire season of Spring as far as recording and voicing over goes. I just, in the process of moving, got distracted and have not had time to edit or actually put that together, so maybe I'll return to that. That's really fun. I remember having a lot of fun with that series, so that might be worth it to just kind of go back and revisit and dedicate the time to once I finish up with the Animal Crossing series and stuff. And don't worry, we're still gonna play Animal Crossing on this channel. I love to play this game. We've still got a whole cottagecore island that we have to finish, but I am gonna wanna take a little bit of a break from recording Animal Crossing videos after this month. I also really, I mentioned it a couple times throughout the series, but I am a digital artist of sorts. I can throw some of the things that I've drawn up on screen, just in case anyone's interested. And y'all better not come at me with any furry hate comments in this video, because, we love healthy creative outlets, okay? I will avoid that rabbit hole for now, but just know that I have a little bit of a soapbox when it comes to how people treat furries. All in due time, all in due time. We're just getting started with this channel, guys. We'll get there. But I would love to do some drawing. I've actually recently gotten back into watching My Little Pony. A little cringe, but I love the show growing up, and it's so good. I love the characters, and it's a comfort show, okay? We all have our weird comfort things. I've been watching a lot of people, there's this one girl who has a series that I just finished watching of turning all of the main 6 into nightmare versions of themselves and talking about the lore and stuff. I freaking loved listening to that. So if you guys would be interested in seeing any drawing videos, I could totally do some redesigning videos of characters from shows that I like for example, My Little Pony or the Five Nights at Freddy's universe or whatever. But that could be something really fun to try. I could just do a little bit of drawing, record myself, record the process, and then do a little voiceover like we're doing here. And I think that could be a lot of fun. I'm also considering doing some general talks on things I'm nostalgic about. So Littlest Pet Shops and a bunch of retrospectives on things that I used to watch a lot as a kid or I used to interact with a lot as a kid. So let me know if you're interested in any of that. That could be a lot of fun. But anyways, I think we've spent enough time rambling while we terraform, and it's time to switch gears to rambling while we terraform, but a lake this time. Transitions are hard, okay? I'm just gonna throw you guys over to the actual build. There, how's that for a transition? As you guys can see now, we have obviously flattened a lot of this space. And by a lot, I mean all of it. I don't know why I'm selling myself short. We flattened all of it. The only place that I left intact is the back right. Sorry, holds up 2 L's to see which direction is left. The only place I left intact is the back left side of the island, because that's where we're going to have our transition up to the spooky forest and everything, and I imagine that being kind of up on the hill from the lake. But for now, let's shift gears and actually focus on the lake. So let's go ahead and snap our cute little before. Oh my god. And snap our cute little before picture. Let me go ahead and do this little trick though. I want to get my camera scooted up as far as I can. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. Click. I'm just kind of playing around with it right now. I want to see if I like the distance that is set up at. And I think that that's a good spot to have the back of our lake at, because after there, I think it might get a little bit hard to decorate and really be able to see it from our viewpoint up there. All right, and so begins the speed build proper. What I'm working on now is we're just kind of taking that backwards point and just sort of expanding it into a lakey shape. You know, this is one of those trust the process moments, guys, okay? Just trust the process. But I'm kind of just working on outlining the whole lake here. And after a while of tweaking the outline and kind of checking to make sure it was in the shape that I wanted, this is what our lake ended up looking like. I wanted it to not be too symmetrical and, actually look like a naturally occurring lake, and I think that we accomplished that pretty well. And kind of the general layout I have in mind for this area here is that you'll enter from the right over here where the apple farm kind of thing is, right? This is gonna be where Molly's house is, so she's got her cute little lake house. I'm thinking I'll have like a waterfall or something up this way. And then you'll just kind of wander this way, and over here is where we'll put the incline that takes you up to like the rest of the forest and then transitions into the spooky forest. Like with most of my builds, the main thing that I like to try to do first is the trees, and that is especially important in this perspective kind of viewpoint because I want to make sure that it looks like a natural foresty lake kind of area. So getting the right tree placement right from the beginning is going to be super important. And this is also the point in grabbing trees when I realized that I was running very low on trees, and because of the current Treasure Island situation, at some point we have to time travel forward a few days, so if you're gonna see a time skip, the trees are gonna get lots redder, but it's fine. That is on purpose. I had to grow and stunt some more trees. And actually now's a good time to mention that in order to stunt a tree, you guys will see me do this plenty throughout this speed build, but in order to stunt a tree, whenever it's at the stage that you like, you just plant a fruit behind it. Very easy. It can be in any of the 8 surrounding tiles, like even the diagonal ones will work. It's just a cool trick that I figured I would share in case you guys don't know how to do that. But stunting the trees just kind of allows them to be like at certain stages of growth. And it just kind of adds a little bit of interest to areas that have a lot of trees, so that way they don't just look too uniform. And we're finally circling back to this little waterfall section here. We end up changing this a little bit later on to fit some more trees in up here, but for now, it doesn't change too much. It pretty much gets the point across. Also, you're gonna see me right here putting flowers in places where I'd like to put trees, simply because I am literally out of full-grown hardwood trees, so that's fun. And also, if you guys watch very closely right here, I do not, in fact, move that sapling to stunt that little tree. So whenever I time travel forward and stunt the rest of my trees, that one grows. But it's fine, because thankfully I have backups at the ready. All right, and this is what we're looking like so far. I like it so far. Definitely need to add some more trees in the back right section, and also on the left on top of the waterfall. But for now, I think we're looking pretty good. This is a solid start so far. Let me go ahead and get some more trees. I'll be right back. Guys, literally look at these trees. Aren't these red trees the most gorgeous things you've ever freaking seen? Oh my god. Now, I don't think I want to keep them all this spread. I think we're a little bit too late in November at this point. I think we're around like the 20th. But with that, I have decided the dream address will be set sometime in this like mid-November-ish, a little bit before they all get this spread, but ideally when we have some of the greens, some of the yellows, some of the oranges, and some of the reds. That would be the goal. All right, and now we're just gonna go ahead and start working on some of the little fillers that are gonna go in this area. And while you guys are watching that, I can talk to you guys about how much this build, oh my god, this build got me so in the mood for fall. Like, I'm a fall girly. My favorite season is fall, right? Like, is it a little basic? Sure, but it's basic for a reason, because it's the right answer. The very interesting part about me having such an affinity for fall, though, is the fact that I also frequently experience the seasonal big sad, if you will. So fall is a very slippery slope for me that leads very precariously right into sadder months of winter, where like all of the trees are dead, it's cold and miserable outside, everything sucks. Not everything, there are some good parts about that time of year, like obviously there's Thanksgiving and Christmas and all of that, and like fun family gatherings and things, but I don't know, it's just a hard time of year for me, and I know I'm not the only one. Hopefully some of you guys can kind of echo that sentiment too. I guess not hopefully, but what I mean is, hopefully you relate to that sentiment. Longtime viewers of this channel might know that Cardigan, our current cottagecore island, actually started as a wintercore, like holiday Christmas kind of island, which I know is very shocking. I just talked to you guys about how much I hate winter. That was me trying to force myself to be like, I love Animal Crossing and I hate winter. So what if I try to like force myself to make this cute winter island so that way I don't maybe hate winter as much, you know? totally backfired. I'll actually link one of the builds that we did up there. I'll throw that in a card up on screen if you guys are interested in checking that out. A very old video, so be warned. But yeah, so Cardigan was actually my first experience with the don't force myself to do it if I start to hate it kind of thing, because that was a very good lesson since I totally shifted gears and am now turning Cardigan into an island that I absolutely love because I'm just embracing what I love to do and decorate in this game anyways. So would you look at that? For once, one of my side tangents actually had a moral to it. You're welcome, guys. Back to the build though, oh my god, this is important. As I was working on this little side over here in front of the wooden log bench, I had a brilliant idea. Look at it! I went and got a little nest code for the ducks. Oh my god! I freaking love it! But it could be even cuter. With more ducks! Ta-da! Okay, it was weird having them all face the same direction. We changed the ones on the left side, but look at that! It looks freaking great! And I know that that has some weird implications with Molly being, you know, a duckling villager or like a duck villager, and there being natural ducks on this island. You know what? We're just not going to think too deeply about it. I'm going to choose to believe that she's just a different kind of duck. You know, she's an anthro duck, a furry duck, if you will. These are wild ducks, right? That's got to be one of my biggest gripes about like media that has animals and things in it. If they don't clearly draw the line between like what constitutes a wild animal or like an animal that can communicate with people, right? Two movies that come to mind that do that very well are Spirit, where the animals cannot communicate with humans and they make that very clear, or at least in the verbal sense, right? Like they can't talk like people can talk. Or Zootopia, where like the mammals are the ones that are like civilized and such, but like all of the other animals aren't. And even then they don't really explain why that's the case. But it's at least enough that I can accept it from a story standpoint. Animal Crossing though, like what is the implications here? Is Molly like a further evolved species of duck? Are there not actually real ducks in this universe? Do real ducks not exist anymore? We've officially circled all the way back to the birds aren't real theory. Okay, we've got to change topics and change topics quickly. You know what? Or we could just embrace it. Let's talk about conspiracy theories. I will not hear out Earth is flat arguments at this time, but I will hear out we faked the moon landing arguments. Leave them in the comments. I don't actually believe that, but like realistically, it wouldn't have been very hard to fake, you know? I'm just saying. But yeah, you guys have probably picked up on the point by now that I have a love for like cryptids and therefore kind of conspiracy theories too. I don't exactly know where I draw the line between like what I believe to my core on a day-to-day basis and like what is just kind of fun to think about. Like one of the things that falls into the latter of like fun to think about is like, I don't know if you guys have seen this picture. If you haven't, I'll throw it up on screen, but the map that shows the correlations between like people that go missing every year and the maps of like cave systems, right? And I think that that's probably just speaks for itself, right? Like, oh yeah, people probably go missing in these areas with caves because they fall into caves or something and it's hard to get to. But what if there's something living in the caves? You know? What if it's like some cryptid, horrible creature? What if the National Park Service was created to hide at least like otherworldly creatures, right? That's a fun theory to think about. Do I actually operate in my day-to-day life believing that there are these insane, creepy creatures in the woods? No, but it's fun to think about. Maybe I'm just weird. No, I actually am weird, and I'll own that, okay? All right, wow, it is insane how fast this speed build footage goes whenever I multiply it by 5 times the original speed. So that to say, we have officially reached basically the end of the decorating. I'm gonna go in and fill in some more of the little filler areas around here, but let's go ahead and show off our completed lake view / Molly's yard. All right, and let's go ahead and do this little completed walkthrough and actually explore our build. I've got some more areas to fill in here, but I've run out of flowers, so gonna have to do some work on that one off camera. But who would I be if I didn't start with this cute little duck family over here? I am obsessed with this nest code, okay? Absolutely obsessed. Okay, but I'm also obsessed with the rest of the build, so let's go ahead and move along. This is what we ended up with for Molly's front yard. I think that the addition of this country fencing in the front and the back is freaking adorable and really kind of separates it from just the park area as a whole. And honestly, I don't think we'll even go with changing anything about Molly's house. I think that it's perfect for this area just the way it is. We added another little nest code over here because obviously, you guys know me by this point. Who would I be without cute little ducks in every single possible spot on this island? But yeah, I mean, that basically does it for the tour of this build. Despite its size and how long it took, it actually was really easy to knock out, and I'm very thoroughly impressed with that. While I am still very sad about the current state of the Treasure Islands, it's okay. This challenge is all about just making the best of the 30 days we have, and that's exactly what we're going to do. But yeah, as always, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz on your way out, and I'm gonna catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye! You know, rescue services, I could do without the sass, okay? Just help me out of here.